I don't think anyone can disagree that 151 is going to be an extremely good long-term hold. I think everyone is sort of on the same, page with that. And I know a lot of people are holding on to 151. I know a lot of people don't want to sell for 5 or 10 years. I understand because it's a very good long-term hold. But some products out there are really really expensive right now. And some have grown tremendously in the past few months. And you got to ask yourself this: where do you see this going? Because we're in a time right now where everything's moving up, right? Especially a lot of the newer stuff like prismatic evolutions. Who knows about the future sets going to come out? And let's say you need some money. Let's say you need to maybe take some profits on some products. 151 is probably one of the last sets you really want to take profits on because 151, we all know, like I said, it's going to do really, really good in the long term. But there's some 151 products that have gone just crazy, outperformed other products in around the same time. And some of these products are harder to move because they're bigger, harder to sell because they're more expensive. So if you're going to take profits and you have some 151 like these products that have already moved up a lot, honestly, this might be a hot take, but I feel like if you need money and you need something to sell and you have nothing else to sell but you need money to roll into something else, taking profits on products that have 3, 4x'd in like a few months, it's really not a bad idea. Now, long term, these are going to keep going up. I'm not saying they're stagnate here, right? But some of these, they're just so expensive now, where the chances that some of these are really going to go extremely higher in the next like few months or a year here, I feel like is sort of low. And a perfect example of that, and the first example I want to give, is the Pokemon Center 151 Elite Trainer boxes. Now, you guys know I have 4 of these. I have like a case worth. I'm not selling them because that's the only 151 product I have, so I don't want to sell it. But if you're a person out there that maybe has a good amount of these, and you're able to get a good amount, and you need some money, and you need to take some profits on something, you need to buy something else, at this point, I feel like the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes are so expensive where I feel like it's going to hit a point where it's going to start to plateau. And we can sort of see that happen. Not really. You can see it with the TCG player sale. It did make it go up more. But I really feel like at 230, you got to think about it. MSRP, these are $65. Or I think these were they 60 or 65? Something like that. But these are 4 times the amount they were. And this set is only around a year old. So it's already 4x'd in like a year. So for this to just double again, it would be $460 for a Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box, just for one. For it to double, it'd be $460. That's obviously pretty crazy when you think about it that way. So that's my point that I'm trying to make, is that these are still good long-term holds, but for a box that's already 4x'd in like a year, taking profits on something like this is not a bad idea. There's going to be maybe people that are going to say that I'm dumb for saying that this is not a bad idea to sell a 151 product, but I'm telling you, when products go this high, this quickly, it's not always the worst idea to sell. And don't think you have to sell everything. If you have, maybe, I don't know, 5, 10 of these, whatever, you don't have to sell all of them. You can just sell a couple. And these are so expensive where you could sell one of these and you could buy a Lost Origin booster box. Obviously, if you take fees and stuff, maybe you'd have to spend a little bit more money, but it's like when you see it that way, it's like there's things that you could probably move your money into that will probably appreciate more quicker because this is already 4x'd. So for, Lost Origin, for example, if you can buy a full booster box for the same price, if you think about Lost Origin, the set, it's out of print, it's like, if you compare it that way, it maybe makes a little bit more sense on why to sell something like this, because I know on paper, 151, you don't want to sell anything, right? But in that way, maybe it makes a little bit more sense, where you can move it into a product that hasn't 4x'd, and it's a booster box that has a really good card like a Giratina, move it into something like that. Now, that's just an example. I'm not telling you to do exactly that, but I'm trying to give you guys an example that maybe help some of you guys understand and visualize what I'm thinking, because I know 151 is a product that everyone has a ton of, that everyone is very bullish on. I am too. I think 151 is going to perform extremely well in the long term. But it's just some products like the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box where it's like, it's gone up so much already where taking profits isn't a bad idea. And a lot of people in this whole investing space, like they make fun of you. They call you not a real investor. Like, I mean, I've gotten that before. Trust me, I've sold stuff. I've told you guys I've sold stuff before, and people say I'm not a real investor. But it's like, you got to be smart sometimes, and you got to make your own decisions. And I'm just talking about this because I know there's people out there that maybe need to sell stuff. I know there's people out there that need maybe more money to buy something. Like, it happens. And sometimes it's the same thing with me. I buy some stuff, I overspend, and some products that I wish I didn't buy that I sell. Like, it happens. So if you're one of those people and you need some money, and you have maybe some of these laying around, and you have a good amount, maybe selling some off, it really wouldn't be the worst idea because they've grown already so much. And another example of a product, a 151 product that I would say is not the worst thing to sell off right now, is a UPC. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is I'm assuming you got these at Costco for like $90 like a few months ago, because by now you've like tripled your money. They're now like, well, not exactly triple, maybe like, 2.5 times your money, but these are now selling for $240. So if you're able to get them for $90, like, you did extremely well in a few months. Now, ultra premium collection boxes, they're like Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes. They're a little bit more exclusive, right, than like a normal Elite Trainer box. But UPCs, like, they're good long-term holds. Like, all these products are good long-term holds, but sort of the same thing. It's like Costco, if you're able to get them for $90, a few months later they're like $240. Ultra premium collection boxes, they're pretty big. I don't know if you guys, if you've never held one before, but they're pretty heavy. They're pretty big. Yeah, 151 is a really good set, so it's not like this is going to be a liquid thing in the future and it being a big box or whatever. But it's one of those things again. It's gone up a ton in value in a very short amount of time, and plus this product is pretty big. So it's another one of those things where it's like taking profits on some of the stuff. And like I said, you don't got to sell everything. If you bought out Costco, you bought a ton of these because they even have them available online, and you just have a bunch. Like, offloading some right now when we're in a really hot market, like, it's not the worst idea ever. And I know a lot of people in the comments are going to say you shouldn't be selling anything, you should be holding everything. But sometimes you need some money, and that's where I'm trying to give some suggestions and my opinions and my thoughts about selling some of these 151 products that have already tripled or quadrupled, and just give you guys my reasonings, because it's really not a bad idea to sell some stuff. It's really not. And I think that whole thing is sort of demonized in this whole hobby with selling things, especially sets that are super popular. But sometimes taking profits is just a necessity to move into other things, to be able to roll your money over into other products. Because you can only, like, depending obviously on how much you're spending and stuff, you might overspend and whatever. Like, you can only spend so much, and sometimes you get too excited, you overspend. It's like selling some stuff sometimes, it's really okay. So that's all I want to say today, is that, selling stuff that's already, gone up in value super quickly and by a lot, like a huge margin like some of these 151 products, it's really not a bad idea to sell some. Now, I might get some heat in the comments for talking about selling 151 because, yeah, we all know it's a good long-term hold, but I'm telling you, some of these products have gone up so much already, where it's, for example, like the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box, I can't see it doubling here in the next year to like $400 something. I don't think that's going to happen. So I want to give my opinion on this today. Hopefully you guys can somewhat understand where I'm coming from with this. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments below if you agree with me or not. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.